Hey, what's up everyone? Entering Infinity here. Today I'm back with another episode of our Pokemon Series 8 VGC Ranked Battles. And before we get started today, I just want to quickly remind everyone the team that we'll be using. This is a rental team that was created by an Italian player who I believe won a tournament with this. So this team focuses around Weakness Policy Solgaleo and it has a bunch of different other supporting pieces that help enable it. For example, we have Spectre with Bulldoze to activate it, more defensive set. There's a Porygon 2 that has Trick Room. We also have a Grimmsnarl that has Screens and Sucker Punch, which could also activate our weakness policy, as well as a Moltres with Safety Goggles and a Tapu Fini with Life Orb. And I will link in the description below the rental code to use this team if you would like to use it, and also a link to Aaron Zhang's channel as well, who inspired me to use this team to begin with, since I saw him playing with it and it looked really fun. So I wanted to give it a try after doing 5 episodes with the Kyogre team. So played with this team in our last episode and we went 4 wins and 1 loss. So I was really happy with how it played, and I'd like to continue to see if we could do just as well with it, if not better, and just continue to learn the different nuances of the team in today's episode. So without further ado, let's start today's episode. Alright, on to the first match of today. So far we are at 20 wins and 10 losses, which is pretty solid, and we'll see if maybe we can get up to Ultra Ball tier today at the very least. Okay, so our first opponent is using a Kyogre Rain team, which is pretty similar to the one that I had built and used in the first 5 episodes, so we'll see how we want to counter this play here. I think we're going to lead Solgaleo and lead Grimmsnarl. In the back have Tapu Fini, and we'll go with Spectre here. Okay, so they lead Amoonguss and Kingdra. So I'm assuming they're probably going to Rage Powder and try to manually set up the rain. So here I think I want to go for the Max Quake into the Amoonguss and Fake Out into the Amoonguss as well. Okay, so they commit the Dynamax on the Kingdra, that's fine. Okay, so we get the Fake Out off, it's great. They get off a Geyser. Into the Grimmsnarl, okay, so I'm fine with that. Now we get a Quake off into this Amoonguss. Okay, do a nice amount of damage there. Even with the crit actually. Okay, so now I want to go for Rockfall into the Amoonguss and set up a Light Screen. Perfect. Okay, so yeah, that's why I went for the Rockfall there. So they actually switch in the Zapdos, and now probably pick up a KO here on this Zapdos, which is huge for us. Okay, and they go for another attack into the Grimmsnarl, and we do hang on, so that's perfect. Now the Rockfall comes out into the Zapdos and picks up the knockout. Excellent. Life Orb, which is interesting, so I'm curious what item is on there. I doubt it would be Weakness Policy. Okay, so they bring out the Amoonguss again. So in this position, I think I'm fine with going for a Max Quake into this Amoonguss because I really want to get rid of it, and then Sucker Punch to self-activate Solgaleo. Oh, and unfortunately they do protect. But at least we get off our... that did a lot of damage. We get off our Weakness Policy here, and then we'll get another Special Defense boost, which will help us. And they just go for an Airstream. So that's totally fine, they don't have the weather up, which is good. Okay, so our Quake comes out into this protected Amoonguss. It doesn't do a whole lot of damage, but more importantly, we get the special defense boost, and now they're both going to take Sandstorm damage. So here, I want to bring out the Spectrier. So now I want to go for, I'm fine going for a Rock Slide and actually a Shadow Ball. And let's pick up the KO on this Amoonguss. So they get up a Hydro Pump. We should take this pretty well. Perfect, yeah. Now our Shadow Ball comes out. Hopefully we pick up a knockout here. We do not. Rock Slide does connect, so this should take it out. Excellent, okay. Great. So unfortunately our Focus Sash is broken, but hopefully we can at least get a Snarl off and start weakening the remaining two special attackers here. So I'm going to go for a Rock Slide here and go for a Snarl. They go for another Hydro Pump that actually missed, which is really big for us. And we get the Snarl off, which is great. Weaken their special attack. And they go for the Water Spout. Does a decent amount of damage, but we tank it pretty well. And we do miss one of the Rock Slides. Okay, so at least we hit the Kyogre. I'd rather hit that target, so that's good. So now I think I want to go into Protect and go for another Snarl here. Just want to keep weakening these two. And they actually Hydro Pump into the Spectre, which is not ideal. Okay. So I was hoping they would target the Solgaleo again there. And then they go for the Origin Pulse. Okay, so there's 3 turns of rain left. I think here I'd like to go for a Sunsteel Strike into the Kyogre and Moonblast into the Kingdra. So they connect this Hydro Pump. Okay, we take that pretty well. They Origin Pulse, they do connect on both targets, which is not ideal. Can we survive that? We do, thankfully. Nice. So now we get off a Sunsteel Strike. Nice, and we pick up the KO on the Kyogre. That's huge. And now this Moonblast should finish off the Kingdra. Perfect. Alright, so we take game number 1 for today. So I'm pretty happy with how we played there. I think we executed our strategy pretty perfectly. We got our screens up, got our Quakes off, and just really boosted up our special defense. And then there's really not much they could do after that, because they went for so many attacks into the Solgaleo and couldn't even pick up a knockout. So that was really big. And then that play where we went for the Rock Fall into the Zapdos switch in was also huge, picking up that knockout. So really happy with how we played there and happy to pick up the W. So we'll see how we continue on to the next one. Alright, on to the second match of today. We're 1 win away from the Ultra Ball tier, so hopefully we can make that happen. And this team is pretty interesting. It's our first time up against a Ho-Oh, so that's pretty cool. They've got Excadrill. That's a little scary. I think this might be... This could be a Dynamax Tapu Fini game. So I'm going to lead Spectrier and Tapu Fini. In the back have Solgaleo and Grimmsnarl. Yeah, let's try that. Okay, so they lead Excadrill and Moongus. really want to pick up a KO on this Amoonguss turn 1, but I still think it's in our best interest to get rid of that. So I think I want to Shadow Ball, and we'll go for Max Hailstorm. Okay, so they switch out the Excadrill for Celesteela. Okay. Hopefully they don't protect the Amoonguss here. Okay, so they don't protect the Amoonguss, that's good. So I think this double up should pick up a KO. We get the Hailstorm off. Perfect. Okay, so at least we got that out of the way. So now we don't have to worry about the redirection and the potential sleep. And they don't get off any attacks turn 1, which is good. Okay, so now they bring up Tyranitar. So our Spectre is in a bit of a rough position right now. I think I'd like to switch it out into Grimmsnarl, and we should try to get this weather changed. So we'll go for a Max Geyser into the Celesteela. So I think that Spectre is going to be important once this Misty Terrain is up. And they do go for the Protect, which is what I was expecting. So they're probably trying to get us to activate their policy through the Max move. So now we're going to get Rain up, and now it can't Protect again next turn. Nice, and that does really good damage into Celesteela. And now we also know that they don't have the switch in as well into a Max Geyser with the Excadrill in the back. So they go for a Meteor Beam. Let's see who they target. They do target the Grimmsnarl, but thankfully we do hang on, which is great. I think our opponent just quit and disconnected. I just want to double check that. Shouldn't have been an issue on our end. Perfect, yeah, so our opponent did just rage quit there and just disconnect flat out. Honestly, I think we pretty much had that game wrapped up anyway, so I don't think that mattered. I think that's why they quit, because they knew they couldn't come back from that. So really happy with how that one went. First time Dynamax in the Fini, as you could see there, was really put a lot of pressure on our opponent's team that they brought, which is why I wanted to max it, because I don't think the Solgaleo was really the best thing to max there. So I think we played around there really well and pivoted it nicely into the situation. So happy with that, and now we're up to Ultra Ball Tier 10. So almost to Master Ball, so we'll see if maybe we can get there this episode if we keep playing well. Okay, so we're playing against a Calyrex Shadow Rider team. Always tricky. So the Togekiss is a bit of a pain here. I think I want to lead Solgaleo, Grimmsnarl, and then in the back have Porygon and Tapu Fini. So they lead Incineroar, Urshifu. Okay. So thankfully our Solgaleo allows us to not be impacted by that Intimidate, so we are free here to pretty much go for an attack. So I think I want to go for Max Quake into the Urshifu. They might switch on to Togekiss, it's a little risky. Let's Max Rockfall the Urshifu and go for a Fake Out into the Urshifu as well. Be a little surprised if this Urshifu stays in here, or it could just attack this turn actually. Oh no, so they go for the Fake Out, they're faster. And then they go for Surging Strikes. We should live this. Okay, now the next Rockfall comes out. Wow, there's very little damage there. Yeah, I was trying to hard read a switch there, but that's okay. Okay, so now I want to go for a Max Quake into this Urshifu, and let's set up a light screen. Just I'm more concerned about the Calyrex in the back. And I'm fine with it going down this turn. And they just Surging Strikes into Solgaleo, so I'm fine with that. Quake comes out. Oh wow, it still doesn't pick up a knockout. It's not good, but at least we get a special defense boost. And they do go for the Flare Blitz. Into the Grimmsnarl, okay. So now I think I want to bring out Tapu Fini. Now I want to go for another Quake, this time into the Incineroar, and then go for Moonblast into the Urshifu slot. So I go for another Surging Strikes. We're taking these hits really well because we're very bulky. We should hopefully pick up a double knockout here. Yep, so we pick up the knock on the Incineroar. Now this Moonblast should KO. Perfect, okay. Now they bring out Regieleki and Calyrex. Okay, and they saw their Dynamax, so the question is, are they going to Dynamax and try to pick up a knockout on the Solgaleo? I could try to make a hard read and switch into the Porygon, but I really don't want to lose those special defense boosts. Alright, let's go for it. We're going to Earthquake and Protect here. This might be a little too risky, but okay, so the Electro Web. Yeah, so I think this double up is going to KO. I mean, if it doesn't, that would be huge. Yeah, it's unfortunate. Life Orb. This Porygon can put on some work here. Okay, so here I think we pretty much need to go for Trick Room, and I'm gonna go for a Moonblast into the Regieleki. Okay, so Thunderbolt into the Fini. We do live, which is great. Now they go for a Mind Storm, also into there. Okay, and they do pick up the KO. And we do get Trick Room up, so we'll see if Porygon can somehow 2v1 here. So here I think I want to go for an Eerie Impulse into the Calyrex. Okay, so that gets rid of their boosts. Wow, was that a crit? Oh my god. Oh man, that's frustrating, but I would have been really curious to see how that played out, but of course we had to get crit there and put a quick end to that. So, bit unfortunate RNG, but I think it would have been really difficult to pull that one back, so we'll chalk that one up to fate. Alright, so on to the third match of today. Or I believe, no, it's on to the fourth match of today. So Solgaleo looks really strong here. I think that will pair well with Grimmsnarl. Back, we'll have Fini for sure, and I think I want to go with Spectrier. So they lead in Rillaboom, Metagross, which is not too surprising. And they should have the faster fake out here. I think I want to max for a max Steel Spike into the Rillaboom, and they're pretty much forced to just kind of go for the fake out here. And we do get the fake out off, which is nice. Let's see how much this does. Okay, solid damage. Let me get the defense boost, which will help us. And they just go for the Iron Head, that's fine. We live that. So here I think I want to go for a Quake into here, and then I'm going to go for a Self-Sucker Punch. Oh, and they do protect the Metagross, that's annoying. Just like glide into the Grimmsnarl, and they do pick up the KO, unfortunately, before we can get up any screens. Yeah, we just played right into their hand there by activating their weakness policy. So here I want to bring out Spectrier. So I think I really want to get rid of this Metagross here. I think I want to double up on it. The Shadow Ball. Oh, so they switch out, probably into Rotom, yeah. Good play. Was hoping that they wouldn't do that since we activated their policy, but at least on the bright side, we do get some chip off into this Rotom, and we do make them waste their policy, so it's not completely for nothing, but it's not exactly ideal. I don't have the switch into this, so I really need to take out this Rillaboom here. So I'm going to go for Sunsteel Strike and a Shadow Ball into the Rotom. Okay, yeah, and they glide into the Spectre. I'm willing to make that sacrifice if we can get this Rillaboom out of the way here. Just hoping that they don't nasty plot with this Rotom. And actually get up a late screen. So now we're down to our last two Pokemon. They still have their Dynamax. At least this Metagross does not have its weakness policy anymore, so we don't have to worry about that, fortunately. So I think I want to double up on this Rotom here. Okay, good. So the Metagross protects. That's what I was hoping for. Alright, and we do get the double up off. I'm not sure if it'll take both attacks, but at least we should knock out before it can get off any more attacks this turn. Wow, that does nothing. And they are faster than the Fini, which is not good. Now Moonblast comes out. Doesn't pick up the knockout. Okay, so it's not great. And now their Berry activates. So that was not an ideal turn for us there. We really need to pick up a knockout on this Rotom, but unfortunately my options are very limited right now. So I'm going to go for a Rock Slide and to protect the Fini. Okay, so it does double connect. Still barely do any damage to this damn Rotom. Yeah, so this is a pretty big problem now. I can't manage to pick up the knockout on the Rotom. I'll have to go for another Rock Slide and for a Moonblast into the Rotom. And of course we missed the Rotom. Hopefully we can at least pick up a flinch on this Metagross then. We don't, and it gets off another Brick Break. And now the Thunderbolt's going to pick up the KO on this Fini, so that's really, really rough. Alright, so I think here I want to go for, just try to go for a knockout on the Metagross, I think. Yeah, no. That our weakness policy still hasn't activated yet, and they're really doing well to play around it. I'm wondering if they're familiar with this team. Yeah, and they connect a Hydro Pump. This is terrible for us. So now I'm going to have to go for another Rock Slide. Hopefully we pick up some flinches here. Still don't pick up a KO. The Metagross flinches at least. Oh, we really could use the miss there. They keep chipping away at us here. I pretty much have to go for another Rock Slide. That's my only chance at this point. But this one's pretty much over. Do double connect and pick up the knockout. Alright, at least this Rotom's out of the way, but it's unfortunately too late for us. Yeah, they rush you around. Alright, we'll see if we can pull out a miracle here. Yeah, now they're just maxing now, so it's definitely over. Yeah, maybe the flare off, so. Alright, so we lose this one. Moral of the story is Rotom Wash is an absolute nightmare for this team, and I hope I never have to go up against another one. Oh my gosh, wow. if it wasn't for that, I mean, I really think that we were in a good position until that came in and then just hit a brick wall. And now Levitate was just a nightmare, and the typing was a nightmare, the EVs were a nightmare, everything about that just completely walled this team. So just very frustrating. So alright, so we lose this one. 2-2 for the day, and now we'll go into the last one and hopefully end off on a high note. So on to game number 5. Okay, so up against the Zacian team. Really thought I would have seen more of these, but after playing over 30 games, I think this is only the second or third one we've actually run up against. So I'm gonna lead Solgaleo, Grimmsnarl. No, let's lead Spectre. The back have Grimmsnarl and Fini. So they lead Zacian, Moltres. So I am concerned about this potential substitute here. So I think I want to go for a Max Quake and Shadow Ball. Hoping that if it does go for a substitute that the Shadow Ball will break it and then hopefully finish it with the Quake. Okay, so Moltres protects, that's perfect. So did they double protect? They did. They went for the sub. Okay. So that's what I was expecting. Can the Shadow Ball break the sub? Perfect. Okay, now the Max Quake comes out. If we could pick up this knockout, that might just win us the game. Perfect. Yes. Okay. Whew. Perfect turn 1. Couldn't have asked for a better turn 1 there. And we get the Spadef boost. That's awesome. We'll see if they stick this one out, but I think we're in a really, really nice position now. Now they bring out the Regieleki. Question is, are they trying to bait the Max Quake? I think I want to go for a Max Rockfall into the Moltres and go for the Bulldoze. Okay, so they do commit the Dynamax on the Moltres. I'm expecting them to probably Electro Web Max Darkness, but I think we can take that. Okay, yes, they do Electro Web. And now we'll see what they go for, and they go for the Darkness. Into the Spectre, and we hang on. Wow, that's big. So I think we could potentially pick up a KO here, and this Bulldoze should do a nice amount of damage into the Lucky as well. Yeah, get off some nice chip. Activate our weakness policy. Now we get the Rockfall off. And just pick up the knockout. Perfect. So, yeah, those first 2 turns were amazing. We read through their strategy, picked up the knockout on the Zacian turn 1, took out their Dynamax turn 2, so now they have no Dynamax, no restricted legendaries. We still have our Dynamax. I don't see our opponent having any way back into this one, so we'll see if they decide to stick it out or not, but that was just perfect play from us, so really happy with that. Now they send out Rillaboom. Okay, so here I am fine with going for Max Quake into the Elecki, and I want to switch out into Grimmsnarl here. So they do decide not to forfeit. Okay, so we'll play this one out. They go for an Electro Web. And they just go for the high horsepower. It's fine, so now we get off a Quake in return, which will pick up a knockout on the Elecki. Perfect. And now next turn we're free to fake out and Sunsteel Strike. So we'll get to see that animation, assuming they don't quit. Alright, so Sunsteel Strike and Fake Out. Hopefully they don't quit because I want to see that animation again. They don't. Perfect. So now I get off the Fake Out and get to see Sunsteel Strike, which does not get old. Nice, and we pick up the KO, so really happy with that. I mean, that game could not have gone any better. We played that so well. Happy to win and, you know, finish off today's episode on a win. So we go 3 wins and 2 losses. We get up to Ultra Ball tier, so couldn't ask for much better for today's episode. Alright, so if you stayed till the end, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Leave a like and a comment down below if you enjoyed today's video, and subscribe if you're new and you'd like to see more of this content, as I am new to YouTube and I'm trying to get my channel off the ground. So if you enjoy the content, feel free to come back and learn VGC with me, and I'll catch you all in the next one.